Shall we play a game? Oaks Game Room says. Yes. Yes, we shall. One of us. One of us.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Oak's Game Room. I am Oak. Today we are going to take a look at a game called The Dawn of Man. And I saw a lot of you on the forums were mentioning this game, wondering how it was. I'm going to watch some vids on it, see if it will be worth a buy. And I picked it up with some dusty Steam Wallet money, because I haven't found too many games that were very exciting for our style of play, or my style of play, blah blah blah, for quite a while. And I picked this one up, and I wanted to do a quick vid and just a quick look on it, so that you can decide for yourself. And what I'm going to do is take you through the tutorial, which I just did, just to make sure that it kind of explains some things in the game, and make sure it will give you a really good look at it. So, without further ado, let's check it out. Now we'll go to the tutorial. And what this game is a resource management game. So right off the bat, if you like resource management games, such as where you manage resources, like you have little people that you control, a village, and they gather things, gather sticks, flint, they fish, they hunt, different things like that. And you have several of them, and your village expands as you go, and you build different crafting things and crafting stations and little tents, and you can upgrade it as you go. And there are different resources, and evidently, now not during the tutorial, but just want to mention up front, that you can do much more than is just in this tutorial. So if you find it moving slow, or something that's, it's like, well, I kind of wanted to do more than that, you can do more than that. And some things that you can do that are not shown in the tutorial is you'll build little walls around your village and your settlement, and there are things to mine, and you can actually go mining to mine resources rather than gather them. And animal husbandry, I guess. It seems you can get horses and cattle and things like that. But you do see the hunting in this tutorial. But there are, and you get attacked. You build walls you'll get, after your settlement gets so big, I'm guessing, or a set amount of time, you'll be attacked. Kind of like whenever we play 7 Days to Die, and after 7 days your base gets attacked by the zombies. After so much time, or after your settlement gets so populated, you get attacked by other humans and things like that. So I'm guessing you can set those settings, turn them up or down to make it as calm or as exciting as you want. I'm not sure about that, but I know that you can. That does come up in the future beyond the tutorial. But without further ado, let's check out what we can do. In the game, you control a band of ancient humans striving for survival. This tutorial explains the basics. You can check the in-game help for more advanced directions. And you have your little menus down here, and you have them up here and up here. Top left, top right. And you can change those, and I'll show you those in a little bit. It has an FPS style camera controls. It tells you, I'm not going to go through all this. You can pause this and read all of this if you want. Pause it. And up here during the tutorial, it will tell you when something is completed for your tutorial. So we'll press our Q and E, and we'll finish that part. You can pivot the camera, blah blah blah. You can customize the keys in settings. And back here we have a little better view. Your people will need a constant supply of food to stay alive. One of the more predictable sources of food is fish from rivers and lakes. I'm kind of excited about the lakes part because evidently you can expand. The only thing that I've seen is this river right here, which is really cool, and they do fish in the river. To send people to fish, select a river, then click on the fish button. So it even tells you where to click here. So I do advise you going through this tutorial. It really helps you out. So left click on the river, and it even tells you here what to click, and click fish. In general, you can assign tasks to your people by selecting objects like trees, rivers, animals, structures, then choosing one of the options in the selection pane. What we just did. Next, you should be gathering some basic construction and crafting materials like sticks and flint. And here are the sticks, and you have to look close at some of the stuff because from back here it looks like these would be flint. But you come up here and you can see this is the flint and the sticks are right here. So we just click on them and click gather. And we come over here, click on those, click gather, and you can see our little person has already started that task. And now it will tell you here, wait for your people to, and our other character over here is fishing with a spear. And our other characters are doing what we told them to do. And it'll tell you up here, wait till they gather this much, blah blah blah, and then basically the tutorial will continue. So we will pop out here and we'll hit 4, and we can increase the speed to 8 times so they get this done quicker. So game speed 8 times. Now everyone's going about their daily tasks 8 times faster. Oh, got a rhino over there. You now know how to assign tasks to your people. This is a good way of micromanaging them. It is indeed. Too much micromanagement is tedious and inefficient. Indeed it is. Work areas are a way to give general commands to your settlement that people will perform continuously. You can specify a location, a resource limit, and the max number of people performing the action at one given time. And up here we have place a fish work area, and you can see right here. Alright. Now down here we have place work area. So we click on that and we can choose what kind of work area we want to place. So we want to place fish over in here. And you can adjust the size as you see at the bottom, but if you can't read that from where you're sitting, it says left click to place, use Z and C keys to change the size, shift click to place multiple. So we're just going to place one now, and if it's in a place where you can't place it, the circle is red. So it will give you a place. Now we want to go ahead and cover 2 areas here so that we can possibly get more fish. So left click, and we just place that there. Now, come up here, do the same thing, place a work area. We're going to gather sticks. And you can see when you move it over, all the little arrows that show you where these sticks are. So they start here, and you obviously want to try to get everything in your circle, so we will place it right there. Now we will come down here and obtain flint, and we'll move this around and see. There looks like where all the flint is. So we'll place it right there, and we will place our last one, which is to harvest wild plants. Now I moved around and I placed them here because it looks like there is a fruit tree and there's a couple of bushes there, and I come over here and there's only one here. So we want to maximize our intake. So we'll go ahead and place. Whoa! My first go around, I didn't span that far over. Check it out. Look at all those. And we'll put them here. All right. Make sure there's no more up there. We'll get all these in there. All right. Place that right there, and we have completed that part. By default, only one person at a time will go to any given work area, but you can increase this if required. Allow 3 workers in the gather sticks work area. Allow 2 workers in the obtain flint work area. So here we will click on that and the arrow comes up as to what this gather area is. Here, so these are the sticks and 3 for gathering sticks. So we'll come down here, adjust that to 3. That is completed. Now we just hop over here, do the same thing for the flint, and we'll have 2 on flint. So there we go. Alright, now we need to wait, so we will speed up the time 8 times. Whoop, all done. Well done, your people will now continuously gather resources until the limit is reached. Note that berries can only be gathered in the summer. Other resources in the game can be gathered in a particular season, which brings an interesting aspect to the game. Also, you want to gather and eat the berries and fruits in the summer, and the fish, and which you will learn a little bit later, but fish and meat that you get from hunting, you can preserve it and put it in a little storage hut. And as well, you don't see it in this tutorial, but I read in the description that you can also have grain, so you can plant gardens and things as well, and you can store grains and cereals, create cereals from the grains and store those, and then eat those during the wintertime when your berries and fruits are not in bloom. So it's a nice dimension to the game. Now that you have some raw resources, let's craft some hunting tools with them. The main crafting structure in the this tickled me. The main crafting structure in the Stone Age is the crafter. I like that. That kind of brings it down to my level. What do you craft things on? The crafter. All right, thank you. To build one, select the build option in the main menu, then the production button, then the crafter structure. All right, come down here, and here you have all kinds of things here, which I'll mouse over quick. That way you can see them, because it doesn't go through all of these during the tutorial. So we have our build thing, and we have our plant and place of work area. We've got a manage thing here for all kinds of things. Primal vision you will see here in a little bit. Game speed, health, and game menu. That's what's at the bottom. We're going to build the crafter. So we'll click on that. We'll click on production, and here we can build resident. Oh, check out the hawk. Check out the hawk. Oh, please be like squirrel. We can build residents, which were tents at first. It's little storage areas, production, metallurgy, and let's see, defense, spiritual, and transport. So we can build transports as well. So we'll go to production, and here I'll just go over quick. Horse crafter, skins dryer, which you will see, food dryer, which you will see, mortar, which you won't see, tanner, you won't see, a well, flint mine. See, there's the mine. You can make a flint mine, make a weaver, an outfitter, workshop, brewery, water mill. I'm very excited about that. I want to build one of those. We can have hydropower, and an oven. All right, so we're going to build a crafter, and then you click that, and as it says here on the screen, in case you can't read it, left click to place, use Z and C keys to rotate, shift click to place multiple. Alright, so we will rotate this crafter, and down at the bottom left corner where it says knowledge +1, acquired sticks times 10, those knowledge points are kind of like your perk points. So you gather those points along the way, and then you spend them to upgrade things in the game. So you've got a nice little RPG part there as well, which you'll see here in a little bit. And oh, we got another one. Alright, now we'll place our crafter here, kind of fairly close to that tent. And when you place it, right here, it goes here. and the people will automatically build it. So it says wait for people to build it and set the speed to 4 to speed it up 8 times. I'm not going to do that right now yet. I'll show you. You see, bringing berries back to the camp. And here he's got his fishing spear. And got 2 little kids walking around here. And got some fish. Bringing fish back. Just wanted to show you that really quick as your little villagers are going around doing their various tasks. And right here, these 2 are bringing supplies to build your crafter. They place this in here, and then they get right on building. So now I will speed it up. Now we're going 8 times as fast. And whoever's not busy, they'll get on it. And you can micromanage this as much as you want. You can actually, you know, stop some person, one of them from building, send them fishing, have 4 or 5 people over here. Yeah, whatever you want to do. You can micromanage it as much as you want, or you can let it go and just enjoy the game, explore, look around. To craft tools, select the crafter, then click on a tool recipe. The crafting task will be added to the queue, and one of your people will perform it as soon as they can. Let's craft some wooden spears to hunt animals and bifuses to butcher them. So we will left click there, and now we can see our production. And with the bifuses here, and these are just stone knives, and we have our wooden spears here, and this is our queue up here. So we want 3 and 3. So we put 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And we have, oh, here's our queue. This is our finished item here. So if you craft more than this, you need to wait till your little fellows go up and pick them up before it'll craft more and put more in here. But this is your queue down there. I'm sorry I said this was, but this is your queue, and this is the output. So we'll go ahead and speed this up. And you can click on it again and see what's going on, or you can click off from it and go look at or do various things. And come back, click on it again, and bring this right back up so you can check the progress. So you don't have to stay in there, you don't have to wait, and you don't even have to speed this up. Like I said, you can put it on, and once you speed it up, you can. I'm going to go ahead and hit 1. So, oh, they just got finished. But what I did was hit 1, and that takes it back to normal speed. And the speed controls are just your number keys above your keys, your letter keys on the keyboard, not the number pad on the right. Of course, I haven't tried that, but probably work as well. But anyway, 1 through 4 are your speed, your game speed. 1 being normal, and goes up to 4, which is 8 times. So we have all the tools we need to go hunting. Alright. Check out the woolly mammoth over there. Hunting was a tricky business in the Stone Age. Killing a large animal with sticks and stones was no easy feat. Use primal vision to find easy prey, highlighted in green. Avoid large animals and carnivores until you have the right tools and manpower. So this is going to level up as well. You'll start with easier animals and move up to the big animals such as that. To hunt an animal, select it, and then click on the hunting button. So, come down here, and we'll spin around, let's see if we can find a fairly easy animal solo somewhere. The last time I saw a reindeer right over here. But obviously this is random, so I might have to go over there. Alright. You zoom out a little bit. Now, when you click on Primal Vision right here, or you can use your hotkey with this tab, I'll go ahead and click on that. Boom, that's going to take us down, and we can see all the animals in green that it's telling us about. And it looks like it jumps from green to yellow to orange to red, from the easiest and least dangerous to the most dangerous. It looks like it's how it's going. So let's spin around here. Make sure we don't have anything closer. Well, there's one close right there. Yeah, that one's so low, so click on this one. We have a boar, and now we'll click on the hunt key, and it will pop out of Primal Vision, and somebody's going to be heading that way. There he goes. There goes Rambo. He's going over to take care of that boar. And something else you can do as well, click here, and it's telling me to speed things up. But something I just discovered because I was wondering about it, you can click on this camera and focus camera like on The Sims, and it will focus the camera on whichever character you have selected, and you hit escape and it'll pop you right back out of that. So let's turn and get faced a correct direction, and now I'll zoom in on him again, and we can actually watch it. Oh, I can't turn it while I'm on him. Oh, alright, well, we got him. I don't know if there's a way you can turn the camera. The last time I didn't have to. It followed him and faced the right way, but that's something I'll check out in settings later, and something you can check for yourself as well, if you can turn the camera while you're focused on one character. Once the animal has been hunted, your people will butcher it and bring the resources to camp. When hunting in this manner, your people will decide how many of them to send based on the difficulty of the prey. And we got another knowledge point down there for hunting. Sometimes you might want to control, or might want more control over your people's actions. You can do this by selecting a few people, then right-clicking on the terrain or target. This way you can move people around or assign one or more individuals to a particular task. This is especially useful for hunting at the beginning of the game when resources and manpower are limited. And you can see we got another knowledge point down here. And I'll hit escape and unfocus from him, and we'll move back. And I wish there was a way I could right click on the screen and turn this left and right, but I can't. Alright, now our animal's here, and it's posted here that someone is coming to butcher it, and it will be someone who is getting the knives. Oh, here it is. Oh, you have to send them. Maybe we can set it to automatic later. Alright, send two people to the same animal. Select them and then right click on the animal. Oh, he's going back to butcher that. Alright, we will select. Now can the kids hunt? Oh, there's one. Alright. Select them. Is there another animal over there? There's the small buffalo. Is there sheep? No, buffalo, baby buffalo. Yeah. Baby bison. I thought there were more wild boar up there. We'll send them to hunt that one. Alright, well done. You can check out the help in the game for more detailed instructions on all the possible ways of controlling your people. One of the resources you obtain from animals are raw skins. They are used to craft clothing and build structures, among other things. However, raw skins cannot be used directly. You have to dry them first. In order to do this, you need to build a skins dryer. I'm loving these crafting station names. Alright, now we'll select off, and this is another thing too, just because I wasn't used to the game. When they told me to do something, there was no way for me to do it. I was like, how do I place skin dryer? I don't see how I can do that. Well, I had someone selected and it removed this from the bottom. So you need to unfocus your attention from one of these things here, whatever you have selected, and just click on the ground somewhere, left click, and it will unfocus that and bring up your main menu at the bottom. So if you ever run into that and you don't see something, check to see if you're focused on something and it's hiding some of your menus. And now they're coming back with the hide and the meat from that kill, and these others are going over. Going over to hunt the boar on the other side. And let's come back, and we will go that production. Choose our skins dryer. Be going around here and get these halfway placed where I had them before, so that they're close to our other production area. Put one there, and we'll do the same thing right beside them. There we go. And I will speed up the time 8 times, and they'll come over and they'll build those.
Pelos.
And we got more experience down here. We got some more points, perk points to spend, knowledge points. And they will continue to gather those sticks and things like that too. It's random. If someone's not busy and you don't have them doing something, they will go and gather the flint, gather the sticks, and they'll go fishing if they're not doing something else. But the graphics in the game are really nice. I mean, I like them. They did a good job. Alright, well done. Always keep a stock of dry skins, as they are a fundamental building and crafting material in the early eras. Alright, come back here. In the game, you earn knowledge points when doing certain actions: hunting new animals, gathering new resources, reaching certain population levels, etc. You can then use them to research new techs, which unlock new structures, plants, or mechanics. The food drying tech unlocks the food dryer, which allows you to process raw meat and raw fish into cured meat and dry fish. These last for a lot longer and can be stored for the winter in a safe place. And I built it fairly close to the river over here. I've left enough space for a wall down here. Alright, now we need to open the tech menu, which is basically where you spend your points, your perk points, your knowledge points. And we'll research food drying. There. And that is right here. And as you can see, on down the line, we've got grain processing, pulse processing, cereal domestication, all kinds of different things. I'll just mouse over them, that way you can see the various things, and you can pause it at any time, obviously, during the video, so that you can see these things. There's sling making, bone tools, composite tools, smelt copper, bronze, iron, fake steel. There's archery. We make our fortifications, swords, composite archery, reinforced fortifications. And here we can unlock a dog domestication, so we can domesticate a dog. And guessing it will help protect you, maybe help you hunt. I'm not sure what kind of perks it will add, or if it's just for looks, which I doubt it's just for looks. Probably has a purpose, but I'm not sure. And then we have goats, sheep, pigs, and cattle. You can have all these things in the game. There's tanning, which will take us to weaving, and we'll be able to make more exciting things that way. Sledge making, where we can get supplies from one place to another. Excuse me, one place to another easier. And stilting, donkey domestication. The wheel, we can invent the wheel. And horse, that horse will speed things up. Spirituality and megalithism. You can build megaliths like Stonehenge, which I actually saw a screenshot of. So, anyway, that's some of the other things that are in here so that you'll know. And we'll click on food drying, and we'll back out of here. And food drying is unlocked right there. And now we can place a food dryer, and we need to place a storage tent to put things in. We'll build our production first in our food dryer, and we'll spin it this way. And I put it here where it's close enough to where they can kind of get back and forth here and get the fish up here, but room enough for a wall. So don't forget that you're going to be fortifying this place. So, I mean, you can do it however you want, but just thinking ahead, remember you might want these inside of a wall. So leave room to build a wall here for full space. And we'll come down here and build storage, and we'll build a storage tent. Now the storage tent. We want residences. We have room enough here. Yeah, we'll get the storage tent here. That will leave us room for a wall. We'll be close to these two residences and our crafting stations as well. Wait for your people to alright. Here you can select game speed. That's what it's showing you. Rather than using the buttons, you can click on that and you can pause the game, or you can hit your space bar and pause it, just like almost all RTS or resource management games. Go back to normal speed, 2 times speed, 4 times speed, 8 times speed. So click on that. That's going to speed them up 8 times. We'll zoom out a little bit. Got food drying unlocked. First structure, food dryer. We have created a food dryer. And you can see them building this structure. Very cool. It's very detailed. And if you do leave it on single speed, like one speed, it does really well with actually simulating you watching them build something, you know, slowly. You're building it at, obviously a little quicker than they normally would, but it gives you a pretty good immersion. I mean, it does. It does a good job. And you have the racks here, and you can see our meat here, our fish. And you can see it curing, and when it's cured, they come grab it and put it away. See, remember to always dry your food and keep it in storage. Keep it in a storage structure to preserve it for as long as possible. And so, whenever you go to build these, if you're off the tutorial, remember to build your storage so they'll have a place to put this meat and this fish and the meat as well. If you don't have a place to put it, they won't be able to take it off from there. Manually producing every item is tedious and inefficient. You can right-click on a recipe to toggle continuous production. Your people will then keep on producing the item until the resource limit is reached. So with that, we can come over here to our crafting station, or our crafter. Yeah, and we can select these right here to right click. I shouldn't make that. That's not right. But we can come over here and we can right click that, and you can see it changed continuous production from off to on. And we'll come to the next one. Continuous production is off. Right click, it's on. Right click, it's on. So we now have continuous production on all of those. Your people will now continuously produce the tools until the resource limit is reached. Note that some recipes are set to continuous production by default. So remember that. And you can go in and check them at any time to see which are and which aren't. If everyone is well fed and taken care of, your settlement will reach a high level of welfare and prestige, and more people will want to join it. For new people to join the village, you have to build enough residence buildings to accommodate the new population. Otherwise, they will not come. Build it and they will come. So we will come down here and we will click build, and we will click on residence, and we will click on tent, and we'll build a new tent right there, and we'll build another one right there. So we have the beginnings of a nice little village here. We got a little pile of gathered materials, which they'll come and grab and put over here. And I'm sure later we'll be able to build more storage and different storage possibly, or be able to save what you can put in the storage and all that. But as you can see, as we're waiting on the tents to be built, you see the guy, he's over here fishing. You can see the rain raining in the stream. Just want to show you some of this so that you can see, a little bit more than just what the tutorial is telling us. You come up here, come in with gathered materials, you see them crafting at the crafting station. That's really neat. How they actually sit on the logs and they craft the items there. You can watch them. All right, let's come back out, and we will speed it up to 8 times. And we will watch these tents being built as we watch the wildlife and the rain. Resource has decayed. Berries. We've got decayed berries. No! No! Somebody go eat the berries. See, I never had that problem. Back when we used to go pick blackberries to make blackberry cobblers. Nope. Just exactly enough blackberries came back to make those cobblers. Never had a problem with too many berries coming back. One or two might have gotten eaten from the bucket before we got back to the house. But don't tell my mom that. Alright, now new humans will now join your settlement. Note that your settlement can also grow when your people reproduce. This plays a more important role when you reach larger populations, as you can have a larger number of births. You now know the basics on how to run a settlement. Note that there are quite a few other mechanics in the game that are not explained here. You can get more info from the loading screen hints, UI tooltips, and the in-game help menu. That explains all concepts in the game with a lot more detail. So, anywho, that is the basics of the game, and that is the tutorial, and I hope that gave you a really good idea of what the game is like, and that is a quick look. And I like it, I enjoy it, and it's an RTS, and if you like RTSs in the first place, I think you'll like it, obviously. But I think if you like survival games like 7 Days to Die, Ark, things like that, games where you have to gather resources from an early stage and primitive materials to make bows and stone axes and things like that, and you like that setting, I think you'll doubly like this game. At least that's my take on it. That's why I like it so much, because it's so grassroots, it's so, earthy and primitive survival. So I really like that concept, and I like the games like this as well, and it being early stages of human life and basic resources, that makes me like it even more. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that gave you the idea that you needed. And be sure to go pick that up on Steam before it goes off sale. I think it's still on sale, I believe, at the time of this recording anyway. 15% off. So anyway, that's Dawn of Man. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for coming along on another adventure. And as always, from oaksgameroom.com, I am Oak. Bye-bye.